In today's Kardashian world, even car brands want to be instantly recognizable from any angle. So we see jumbo, gaping, and occasionally grotesque grills, bodacious curves, and overwrought lighting signatures. The notion of understated elegance is quaintly obsolete, even among the old money luxury automakers. Then there's the new Volvo S90. With clean lines that flow smoothly from nose to tail and a coupe-like roofline, the S90 looks classy without any visual histrionics. It does have a largish rendition of the traditional Volvo grille, but it's tastefully blended into a clean nose with harmoniously shaped air intakes and headlights. Of course, the S90 does have its own lighting signatures, with daytime running lights in a Thor's hammer configuration within the headlight assemblies and distinctive tail lights. The Scandinavian furniture style known as Danish modern relies on pure, unadorned, yet beautifully executed shapes rather than intricate designs, and the S90, appropriately enough, continues this heritage. Inside, the Volvo maintains this design idiom, with an uncomplicated dashboard layout that is less elaborate than those of its competitors, although it's not as spare as Scandinavian furniture once was. There's a nice mix of light and dark leather, matte finished open pore wood trim, and polished aluminum. The retractable, multi-panel wooden cover that hides the cup holders and stowage area is a particularly rich execution. Perhaps the S90's greatest interior distinction is its vertically oriented LCD center stack infotainment screen, which operates much like a tablet. As you swipe among its screens, you control almost everything in the car. There's only a thin strip of buttons below the screen, so you'll need to get familiar with the touch screen if you're not already. This approach generally works well, but owners will have to invest some time to climb its learning curve. Just as with the tablet, swiping side to side as well as dragging down from the top or up from the bottom is required to navigate all of the menus. The printed owner's manual is none too helpful in this regard, so select your dealer carefully or be prepared to spend some time with the video tutorials for the car. At the same time, you can learn about some of the S90's other unusual controls, such as the knob that starts and stops the engine, the barrel-shaped thumbwheel that selects the drive mode, and the trip computer reset button at the end of the turn signal stalk. The gauge cluster is another screen, with attractive representations of the instruments and handy space in between to display a map, turn-by-turn directions, a phone menu, and various sound system functions. 4 cylinders driving 4 wheels. In addition to its visual and ergonomic distinctions, the S90 also takes an unusual mechanical path by relying exclusively on 4-cylinder engines. The T6 inscription model we drove for this test is the top trim level until a hybridized T8 arrives next year. It has the more powerful 316 HP version of the Volvo's 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine, equipped with both a turbocharger and a supercharger, coupled to an all-wheel drive system. Of course, just about every car in this class uses a 4-cylinder as its base engine, but Volvo's pledge to cap its engines at a maximum of 4 cylinders precludes the 6 and even 8-cylinder engines as options provided by most of the competition. For instance, the last Mercedes-Benz E4004 MATIC we tested had a 3.0-liter turbocharged V6 with 13 ponies more than the Volvo but a significant 59 lb-ft torque advantage. As a result, it hit 60 miles per hour 0.6 seconds quicker than this Volvo's 5.6 seconds, and the Benz kept pulling away, amassing a 3.7 second lead over the S90's 26.2 seconds 0 to 130 mph time. And the Mercedes was more than 200 pounds heavier than the Volvo's admirably light 37 pound curb weight. On the other hand, the Volvo is quicker than our latest 4-cylinder Mercedes-Benz E3004 MATIC that needed 6.5 seconds to find 60 miles per hour. That car is more comparable to the S90 T5 model, which we've yet to test. The S90's performance is pretty much in the hunt with the most recent numbers we recorded for the all-wheel drive models of the Audi A6 3.0T, the BMW 535i, and the Cadillac CTS 3.6. Thanks to the supercharger, throttle response is good, even from a complete stop, and passing acceleration with the help of a transmission kickdown is also decent. The Volvo's 4-banger also sounds pretty far away, although most of our sound measurements are 1 decibel or so louder than its competitors. Moreover, the quality of its sound reveals the S90's paucity of combustion chambers. At full throttle and high RPM, the engine sounds fine, undoubtedly augmented by some audio camouflage. But when you hear wisps of engine noise at part throttle, the sound is more a mild drone than a turbine-like whisper. We suspect that many buyers in this segment pay for competitors' 6-cylinder engine options as much for the more pleasing sound quality as for the increased performance, and the S90 doesn't offer that alternative. Where the 4-cylinder does pay off is in fuel economy. The S90 T6 squeezes an EPA combined rating of 25 mpg from each gallon of premium 3-up on that quicker 2016 Mercedes E400. It also beats the ratings of the 6-cylinder Audi A6 and BMW 535i by 1 and 2 mpg. In our testing, biased even more heavily than is our norm toward vigorous exercise on back roads, we averaged 22 mpg. Too sporty for its own good? Fuel economy is useful, but most buyers of luxury cars costing $60,000 or so are probably more interested in comfort and serenity. In these areas, the S90 is a bit of a mixed bag. Interior space is excellent, both front and rear are among the best in class, and the seats are very comfortable, particularly the highly adjustable fronts. However, footroom for the rear passengers could be better, and the manual steering column adjustment is unusual in a segment where just about every competitor offers an electrically adjustable column integrated with the seat memory system. The S90 has a surprisingly sporty nature that imposes a penalty in ride comfort. Thanks to its 255/35R20 Pirelli P0PZ4 high-performance summer tires, this T6 inscription model sticks to the skid pad to the tune of 0.90 G, considerably grippier than many of its competitors that use all-season tires. And the S90's 161-foot stopping distance from 70 miles per hour is also on the short end of the class spectrum. But these low-profile tires generate surprisingly high road noise on some surfaces and cause the ride to feel flinty on sharp-edged bumps. The surprisingly harsh impacts also provoke some mild quivers within the chassis that are transmitted to the driver's hands through the steering column. The structures of most cars in this class feel rock solid, while the S90's leaves a noticeably looser impression. Another small complaint is the S90's steering feel, which gets heavy shortly after the helm moves off-center. Perhaps this is Volvo's notion of sporty feel, but it's unnatural to require so much steering effort for a gentle lane change. In contrast, the brake pedal feel is a tad on the soft side, although it is easy to smoothly modulate deceleration. We like the S90's understated styling and clean interior a lot. Those seeking an alternative to the more in-your-face design statements from other automakers who come to share our regard for the Volvo's design probably will not be bothered by the car's dynamic and control quirks. But we strongly recommend taking one for a test spin before signing on the dotted line. The chassis quivers and lack of ride isolation sufficiently offended our dynamic sensitivities to the point that we soon came to prefer gazing at the S90 over driving it.